Hello, future. It's Sunday morning. The sun's not up yet. There's frost on the ground. It's almost December. And for me now, it's Christmas time. It's all about I've got to find some Christmas greens and help some city people decorate the city for Christmas. Hopefully they're not too scared to go out and play. Anyway, the sort of thing I do can be a little bit tricky. And the reason it can be a little bit tricky is because I find things that other people can't find, and that makes me valuable at what I do. Sometimes finding the things that are hard to find is not the hardest part. Sometimes the hardest part is getting permission. And unfortunately, in this sissified world we live in, where everybody sues each other and everything's against the rules, lawsuits are always a problem for anybody giving you permission to do stuff. A lot of times it's impossible to get permission. So the place I'm going to now has the stuff that I need, the stuff everybody needs, and I go there every year. It's not anything anybody cares about. It's just a woods. It's an overgrown tree farm. Hasn't been a tree farm in 50 or 60 years. But it's not owned by a regular individual. It's owned by some organization, and the organization would never give somebody like me, somebody who doesn't have insurance and wants to climb to the top of a 70-foot tall tree and cut some branches off and haul them home. No one like me is ever going to get permission from a place like that. I don't think it would be that big of a deal if I got caught. You never know. Sometimes you get arrested for things like that and you don't expect to. I don't expect that I would get arrested if I got caught, but what I do expect is that I would never be able to go there again, or at least I'd be a lot more scared to go there once I already said sorry and left and agreed not to go back. So what's very important is that I don't get caught. And when they always put boulders in your homemade trails and gates, and then you make more trails around them and they put more boulders and more signs, it becomes harder and harder to find ways in. I've got a winch on the front of the truck. I got 36s, and I've got to make my own trail to get in this place. And it won't be without people seeing. People will be seeing me, and I've got to worry that somebody will turn me in. So what are you gonna do? This is how I make my money, and this year I haven't made any money, so I certainly can't go easy on this. I need to get the stuff that people want to increase my value a little bit. I don't usually have any stress going through my life. Things break, things fall apart, I have to fix them and figure things out. Got to figure out how to pay my bills. I don't usually worry too much about anything, but I don't like, well, whatever. If I could choose, I wouldn't be doing this. But I don't have too much of a choice, so I might as well turn the camera on and talk to you about it. I've made it in. So, this is a row of trees that makes yellow color on the upside of the leaves. And people like it when they're making wreaths for Christmas. It's hard to find, it's hard to get, and when you cut them, they don't always grow back if you cut them too hard. So I don't cut the sides of these trees. Also, that would make them not look good and throw up it would get me in trouble if somebody was to come here. So I don't want to, and also I don't want to hurt these trees. I need these trees to live. So if I cut them too hard and they die, or they don't look good, or they don't grow back right, I'll only hurt myself. So what I do is I climb to the top of these trees, and I only cut a few branches off the top of each tree. There's a few hundred trees here in this row, and they're planted close enough together that I can jump from tree to tree as I go and cut a few branches off each one. So I'm going to start here where there's a break in the row, and I'll go for 100 yards or so along the top of these trees, cutting a couple of branches off of each tree. Also, I'm going to show you what I've done here. You can see I keep the invasive species out of my row because they'll ruin it and make the trees not make the right color, or not grow right, or be ugly. So I come in here every few years with a chainsaw and I cut down all the trees, invasive species growing up in the middle. And once again, I didn't even have permission to be here. But I just treat the earth like the whole thing's my farm. Well, the parts of it that I can use anyway. All right, so here we go. There's a break in the row here. So we'll climb this one and then head that way. I'm gonna try and hold you as I climb up. You can see the top there. It's a ways up. I don't know what it is, 50 feet, maybe a little more. Put my hood up, keep dead branches from going down my back. Let's see if I put my loppers over here, it might work better. It's a little bit easier to do it with two hands. All right, just like that, we're at the top. So if you look, it looks like you can just walk across, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. One tree to the next, I cut it, throw the branches down, and then I climb right across the top of these trees and just skim them. If you look down through there, it's hard to even see where the bottom is. But looks like there's a hot air balloon over there. That's pretty cool. All right, let's start skimming. So now I got a branch, and I've got to try and throw it over the edge. There goes that. So that's it. That's all I can take off the top of this one. That's all I feel comfortable taking. I've done a good job, and they'll grow back nice. Now I've got to get to the next tree. Loppers on the back. Now, it's a 50-foot fall if I'm going to break a branch and fall through. So we don't want to do that. We've got so you don't want to do that. You just want to be as careful as you can and get across the top of these trees. It can be a little bit uncomfortable at times, but we made that climb over successful. Moving this way, there's plenty more branches to get. So that's where I came from. And this is where I'm headed. Alright, so here's a spot where there's about a, I don't know, an 8-foot gap between trees. And I'm gonna try and make the leap. There's not much. There's not too much between me and the other tree. There's not too much under us, but I think I can do it. I don't know if I can do it on camera. Let me see. Sometimes if you want to feel old, you can look at trees around you. They'll give you an idea how long you've been doing the same thing. These are my ruts right here. I remember thinking I was stuck when I left these ruts. And there's an oak tree. It's, I don't know, 35 feet tall in the middle of my ruts. Alright, the sun's up. I've got a pile. It's time to load them up and get the heck out of here before anybody bothers me. How long did it take you to build this?
80. And I'm still building it. And I drive on the truck.
Let's see it.
Wait, now. Well,
I do?
Now I'm driving it.
Where?
There.
Oh yeah, right there. After a day or two of picking all this stuff, I've got to find a way to squeeze it all in one truck.